when you dance to your own rhythm, life topsy-toes to your own beat. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. This is the time, a perfect time to learn something new and leverage your vocabulary to the next level. Alright, while waiting for the others, please be reminded to keep the quality of the audio during the meeting. Please mute your microphones and turn on all your cameras. And of course, don't forget to have fun and enjoy our virtual Panakisgot. Upon sharing your thoughts and experiences, kindly use our official hashtags. Hashtag 2021 Virtual Panakisgot, hashtag Uswag Teknolohiya. A few minutes from now, we are going to start our 2021 Virtual Panakisgot. Again, turn on all your cameras and mute all your microphones. Thank you.
Dear Lord, we thank you for the gift of life today. You allow us to have another day to praise you and see your glory. Thank you for the love and protection, especially this time of pandemic. Bless us, Father, with your wisdom as we begin our class. Help us to focus our hearts and minds on what we are about to learn. Inspire us by your Holy Spirit as we think and listen. Guide us by your eternal light as we discover more about the world around us. Lord, we thank you and let your will be done in our lives. We ask all this in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, helas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinagang tulad, awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidinig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga api, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
The most awaited time is now here. I am Geraldine Apia, your host for tonight. Without further ado, help me welcome our first speaker is an agent of change. Ay, grabe, power. A third year in Bachelor of Physical Education. Our first speaker, there's no other than Abel Jose Collientes. A round of applause, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abel Corrientes, and I am the leader of this group, and we will tackle the topic dance and its concept. So, at the end of this discussion, you have had the opportunity to learn the brief history of dance, elements of dance, dance elements, and the significance of dance education. And dance position, fundamentals, and dance program will be performed. So, let's begin. Dance and its concept. So, one moment. I'm sorry for this one. Okay, so as per definition, there is some type of rhythmic movement in everything in the universe. We've moved with the Earth's rhythmic movements since we exist on it. So, we may assume that we are naturally rhythmic because basic rhythm may be found everywhere around us or within us. This tackles about coordinating with your movement and something you hear. And it is also a human characteristic, but not all people has this characteristic. But I believe that this will be, this will develop if we have the interest to learn this one. And as you can see on the definition, dance is the rhythmic movement of the body, usually to music and inside a defined space. A part of rhythm can be better perceived with the ear is called sound. And the difference of those is mostly for music, it is ordered, and for sound is disordered. So since I summarized this definition or this dance concept, a definition. So we are able to know what is dance. And it is a form of self-expression, an art form consisting sequences of movement. So in the next slide, we are discussing about the brief history of dance. So stone tools, hunting implements, and cave paintings are not clearly identifiable physical relics left behind in dance. It is impossible to pinpoint the exact date when dancing became an element of human civilization. But based on my research, it is originated between 5,000 to 9,000 years ago. Actually, it is, dance is littered with fascinating events, that influence our roots. And inventors who created new styles and periods when dance and music were at forefront of advanced technology, all which contributed to it being the popular pleasure it is today. Because we all know that dance evolved from Renaissance to modern. So also the brief history of dance, it is not just tackled about how it is performed with different forms, genre, but before the introduction of our written languages, dance was the method of passing these stories down from generation to generation, and it is also a form of communication, courtship, worship, work, or rituals. So on the next slide, we are discussing about dance and music. So as you can see, when we hear the word dance, of course, the first thing that comes in our mind is movement correlated with music, because it is very important to have music because it motivates us to create movement in our head or choreography that you know that has a good outcome. And it is also very important that we choose the best music that correlates with our performance. So the next slide is dance as ritual. So ritual dance were created with a specific purpose in mind. This that is to fulfill a unique wish to work toward bringing an essential need to man. So we all know that dance is also for rituals, whether it is for um, communicating with their gods or preventing natural disasters. And through ritual, also they can also show their gratitude to their gods or to the people that also help them on their daily needs. And also for dance, I have this little story. As you can see on the fourth pic, there is a Manubo tribe. And I am half Manubo, but sadly, you know, hindi ako naglaki doon sa Agusan, which is the main setting of the Manubo tribe. But hopefully in the future I'll be able to know their culture, to adapt, and to know their dance as well. But their dance is very popular in Caraga region or in Agusan del Sur and Norte. Manubo ritual dances such as Sinagudsod, Inamag, and Binaog. Those are dance performed during Kahimunan Festival or full moon prayer ceremony. And back when I was a kid, I also danced in Kahimunan Festival. And as you can see on their wardrobe, nagsuot sila ng polo, which is the kabo, and the pants, which is the sawe. And commonly for this one, the music is in 4/4 signature and it has no lyrics. So, Dance as Ecstasy will be discussed by Nicolas Parafena. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that wonderful topic, Mr. Abel. Thank you. And now let's proceed to our next speaker, wherein he is kind, helpful, yet dramatic. He's actually in his second year in BPE. There is no other than Mr. Nicolas Parafina. A round of applause, please.
Good day, everyone. I am Nicholas Perfinan. I'll be discussing the dance of ecstasy, dance of display, and dance of entertainment. Dance as ecstasy. Any sufficiently uninhibited society knows that frantic dancing in a mood heightened by pounding rhythm and flowing alcohol will set the pulse racing and induce a mood of such hyperactive. When we say dance as ecstasy, it is uninhibitedly like without restraint. You just dance with any kind of steps and move freely with the music while you are drunken. And also, it is similar to a static dance because they do not follow any kind of dance steps rather in terms of dancing. The best example for this is the scene where you are in a bar where everyone is drunken and they dancing like in their own world. And that we include uncontrolled behavior, which is called frantic dancing. Moreover, this is exemplified in the Dionysiac dances of ancient Greece. Villagers, after harvesting the grapes, they celebrate the occasion with a drunken orgy in honor of Dionysius, the god of wine, where Roman name Bacchus. Their stamping makes a favorite scene on Greek vases and dancing women of this kind, whose frenzy even sweeps them into an act of murder, are immortalized in tragedy, the Bacchae, by Euripides. Short of this unfortunate extreme, all social dances promise the same desirable mood of release and excitement. In ancient Greece, after they harvest grapes, they occasionally celebrate drunken orgy, or those people celebrate while they are in drunk in ceremonial rites, in honor for their god of wine, whose name Bacchus. The main highlight in the celebration is the stomping painted female on the Greek faces. As you can see in the right side, these stomping feet are very popular in the Greek vases in the ancient Greece. Stomping movement of the female, it turns out a social dance in the Greek era, same desirable mood of release and excitement. Moving forward in dance and as entertainment and dance as display. Egyptian painting from as early as about 1400 BC depict another appeal of dancing, which is called scantily clad girls. They accompanied by a seated musician covered enticingly on the walls of tombs. They will delight the male occupant during his residence in the next world. But dancing girls are for this world too, from princely bouquet to backstreet strip club. They require no explanation. Entertainment and the closely related theme of display underlies the story of the public dance. In the courts of Europe, spectacles of this kind lead eventually to ballet. As early as 1400 BC, another discovered of entertainment by Egyptian which called scantily clad girls or those girls that wearing less clothes. They usually seen in the walls of tomb, accompanied with seated musician to entertain deaths, especially men's, because they believed they could entertain the male during his residence in the next world. Moreover, display is similar to entertainment it because entertainment accompanied with the display. We generally see humans as an entertainer and those entertainer serve as a display and that's how they accompany with each other.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholas, for your topic. And now let's proceed to the next speaker, wherein this woman is an ineffable Sylvigan. She is already in her second year taking up a bachelor in physical education. There's no other than yours truly. When you dance to your own rhythm, life's topsy toes to your own beat. Alright, this is the time, a perfect time to learn something new and to leverage our learnings in terms of rhythm and dance. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it interesting? Yes, definitely indeed. And now, let's talk about rhythm. What comes out in your mind when you hear the word rhythm? Anyone? Can I hear your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts? You can actually share it to me. Yes, that is actually a one good point. Yes, indeed. So now, when we say rhythm, it is a music pattern in time. Yes, or it is a placement of sound in time. In Greek, it is called rhythmus, wherein it is derived from the word rhin, which means to flow, to flows, which it is actually an orderly alternations of contrasting elements. So that is rhythm. So do you have any clarifications of that? If none, let's proceed to our next topic, the elements of rhythms. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it amazing? All right. So now, did you know that there are 13 elements of rhythm? The first one is beat. Beat is actually the underlying pulse of the rhythm. So when we hear the beat of the sound or the beat of the music, it enables us to be alive. It brings up the mood. It brings out the vibe in us, right? It's usually when we hear the music with its beating, we happen to tap our toes. Yes, we manage to tap our toes and bring out the vibes in us. So that is beat. And now the second one is tempo. When we say tempo, it is the speed or pace of a given piece. In classical music, tempo is indicated typically with an instruction at the very beginning, and it's usually measured in beats per minute. So that is tempo. Alright, so the next element is intensity. So intensity or sound intensity, also known as acoustic intensity, refers to a power of sound waves per unit area in the direction of perpendicular in that certain area. Also, sound intensity is not the same as physical intensity, physical quality as in the pressure, as sound pressure. So the next element is pitch. Pitch refers to a sound that are higher or lower in according to the frequency of vibration of the sound waves producing them. So usually A above, middle C is taken as a reference pitch. So that is the pitch are another element. So if you have any questions to that, just ask me. Okay, so now let's proceed to the next element. So the next element is phrasing, wherein you are like telling a story through movement. You emphasize a particular word or emphasize a particular movement, or either you go speed up or slow down to make story sound more interesting, or your movement more interesting. So that is phrasing. So the next one is meter. So what is meter? No, so it is actually a rhythmic pattern constituted by the grouping of basic temporal units called beats into regular measures or bars. So that is meter. So the next one is accent. So are you familiar with that accent, the way we speak? But actually, accent is also called stress, wherein it refers to a rhythmic or melodic detail. It may be implied or specifically indicated either graphically or verbally. So that is the accent. So the next one is count or counting. It is a system of regularly occurring sounds that serves to assist with the performance or condition of music by altering easy identification of the beat. Commonly, it involves verbal counting beats in each measure as they occur, whether there be 3, 4 to 5 beats, like 1, 2, 3, go, 1, 2, 3, move here, 1, 2, 3, and that's it, the counting. So the next one is what we call bars. So what are the bar? So bar are actually a single unit of containing specific number of beats. It is played at a particular tempo. So bars are designated by vertical bars, lines that run perpendicular to the staff, indicating the beginning and the end of the bar. So that is the definition of bar. So the next one element is note. So note, we are actually very familiar and we know what is this symbol. So note is a symbol of denoting a musical sound, and also the note itself is also the sound. Yeah, so we shouldn't expand that because we already know what is note. And now let's proceed to measure, wherein a unit of time featuring a specific number of beats played on a particular tempo. So it is actually designated by vertical measure lines or bar lines, yes, that can run perpendicular to the staff. So that is measure. So the next one is pattern. So what is this note pattern? It is actually refers to the rhythmic and melodic patterns emerges when series of notes is distinct intervals are played at high speed. So it is actually a set of notes with or without rest used
for a certain dance step. So lastly, we have step pattern, wherein it refers to the movement done for each of the dance steps. So those are the 12 elements of rhythm. So isn't it amazing? Have you learned something? So that is all, guys, and hoping that you'd understand what I've said. But if you have any clarifications or questions, you can ask me. And that is all. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Miss Geraldine, for your wonderful topic. And now let's proceed to the next speaker. Where in this one, she will tackle about the dance to dig deeper. All right, so help me welcome Miss Veronica Diaganon. A round of applause, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. I am Veronica C. Diaganon, and I am second year college. And now we are talking about dance in dancing. So, what is dance? Dance refers to the rhythmic succession of body movements, usually to the accompaniment of music, and it is used as a form of communication. So, dance pertains to definite set of movements performed on a definite music. We cannot interchange dances among each other, like we know if a dance being performed on stage, for example, hip-hop, ballet, or folk dance, or a ballroom dance. From this definition, the following characteristic of dance could be derived. First is, dance makes the body as a medium to convey what one feels or a means of expressing emotions. So, dance therefore becomes a form of nonverbal communication. And the second is, dance has rhythm of body movements in succession or a flow. And the last one is, dance may be accompanied by music. This means that most dances have some form of musical accompaniment. A few ritual dances are performed without standard music. Instead, the tapping of the bare feet on the ground made by the performers, tickling of hoofbeats attached to clothing or accessories. Metal trinkets serve as accompaniment. So dancing. What is dancing? Dancing denotes the total body movements where there is proper projection of face to involve the emotion required by the dance. So the expression of the dancer should be complete in the whole dance. Dance elements. Dance involves rhythm which takes into consideration the measurement of time, space, weight, and energy. These four are the major elements of dance. So the first is space. Refers to the space through which the dancer's body moves by the performer as he travels from one spot to another spot. And the second is time. Time refers to the movement of dancers through time and specifically within relationship to the music, tempo, or a rhythm. And the third is weight. A weight transfer or a weight change is dancer's movement so that their weight is moved from one supporting foot or supporting limb or body part to another one fully or partially. And the last one is energy. This refers to the capacity to execute movements, dance figures, a series of figures, a whole dance, or a series of dance. So, the energy is significant in order to execute dance, restrain, or abound movements of free-flowing motion. Dance cannot be considered complete without the major elements. So, to enhance the dance, three minor elements may be added. First is music, costume, and the last one is spectacle. Music. Music serves as accompaniment for a dance performance. So, it could be as simple as hand claps, humming or chanting, or complicated as choral singing or musical assemblies such as band. And the second is costume. This refers to the special clothing worn only for dance performances. So, costume usually differ from ordinary dress worn daily in terms of cut, color, and materials. Masks and accessories like headdress, belt, Especially hairstyle, makeup, and another beautification methods are utilized to give the performer a specific role or a character for the performance. And the last one is spectacle. From the term itself, spectacle is a certain quality done to dance to make it attractive for viewing by an audience. So this is means lavish costuming, choreography, movement enhancements, set, props, and another theatrical elements. Unlike the major elements which would make dance impossible to exist if one is taking out. So dance could be still be considered dance without the minor elements.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Giselle Villarba, and the topic that I'll discuss tonight is about movements and its elements. So, movement is the act or an instance of moving wherein there is a change in place or position. It refers to the dance steps and basic body movements required of a particular dance. So there are two general categories of movement that are used in dancing and in creative movement. The first category is the locomotor movement. This movement progress through space, movement that travels from one spot to another. And the second category is the opposite of the locomotor, which is the non-locomotor. It is a movement that remains in place, a movement that does not travel to one location or to another. So I already tackled about the movements and its categories. The next that I will discuss is the elements of movement. So we have 15 elements of movement, and the first element is the theme. It is the main storyline of the dance. It tells what the dance is all about. This can be love, can be futuristic, can be ritual, and etc. Theme is a choreographic structure that follows a specific storyline and it intends to convey a specific ending. The second element is movements. It refers to the dance steps and basic body movements required of a particular dance. Movement is in the act of dancing because it is the art of human movement. We use movement to convey ideas, thoughts, and feelings, and it also includes facial movements and gestures. The third element is the technique. Technique is a system of movements performed by a dancer. This is developed through constant practice and certain difficult dance steps. So, technique is a physical skill of a dancer which enables them to execute the steps and movements that are required in a different routines, dances, or choreography. The fourth element is choreography. It pertains to the organization of the movement and figures in the dance. This makes use of the theme and movements dance steps. So choreography is the art of creating and arranging dances. It also referred to the design itself, which sometimes expressed by means of dance and donation. And the fifth theme is music. It gives life to the dance. This should be in accordance with the theme and pattern of movements of a dance. Music plays an important foreshadowing and guiding role in a dancer's body movements. It set the mood, drop the beat, and create the motivation that are needed to start moving. So the sixth element is the accessories, costumes, and properties. Accessories are the dancers wear in addition to the costumes such as earrings, necklace, belts, feathers, and etc. Costumes are also refers to what the dancer should wear, and the properties, on the other hand, refer to the things held and used by the dancers. So accessories, costumes, and properties help helps to bring life the performance that dancers work so hard to complete. They highlight the dancers' movements, making them look flowing, and it enhances their visual effect. The seventh element is the scenery. It denotes the background on stage. It completes the whole setting of the dance. This involves backdraft of the stage and the properties placed on stage. It is the general appearance of the place. It aggregates the features that give character to the setting. So the eighth element is the design. Design refers to the floor pattern in relation to space. Design is a combination of lines or shape to form a decoration. Set costumes, lightnings is part of the dance, and it is important in narrative as well as formal dance in helping the audience maintain the special attention the theater needs. And the ninth element is the gravity. It is the force that holds you to the earth. Thus, it's a force you have to work with because it constantly inhibits movement. So, gravity helps the dancers to stay grounded by pushing them downwards. In dancing, there are always an outside forces acting on the body that help the dancers do the movement correctly. So the 10th element is balance. It is concerned with more than balancing on one leg. Your aim is to achieve and constantly maintain an inner balance of the whole body. It is a tension of mutual support among all parts that brings the whole body together in a way. Balance can refer to either the weight or the spatial arrangement. Balance is the ability to maintain the certain gravity of the body while minimizing postural sway. Dancing requires these quick changes in the position of the body, especially in the feet, ankles, knees, and hips. So the 11th element is posture. To achieve this element, you need to change your perception of your body. There is an often wide discrepancy between what feels right and what looks right. So, dancers work their entire dance live on their posture, also called alignment. It is the key to balance and movement. Proper body alignment and posture are essential to dancers as it makes them appear more elegant and confident. It also improves overall balance and body control. In dancing, with correct alignment makes dancing more comfortable. And the 12th element is the gesture. Involves using the body as an expressive instrument to communicate feelings and ideas in patterns of movement. With subtle gesture and postural attitudes, we show cooperation, give confidence to friends, or display aggression to enemies. So gesture is the movement of any part of the body that is not weight-bearing. Gestures are movements of the hands that accompany speech and communicate information to the audience. The 13th element is rhythm. Finding rhythm is largely a matter of paying attention. It is something everybody has, though some people are not just aware or sensitive to it. Our hearts bear to a rhythm, our lungs breathe to another. Rhythm is a structure of beats or movement patterns of beats. In the music, it can influence the speed and phasing of the movement. The 14th element is the moving space. You need to be aware of the space around you. You have to move with care and awareness, gauging the space. Space is not just an empty air, but a tangible element that you move through. Space makes the dance more coordinated, and the dance also looks better because the dancers are synchronized. And the last element is breathing. It is crucial to dance. Not only does it brings oxygen to the body, but it also gives your movement influency and harmony. It is an expensive tool, and all dancers use breathe The use of breath provides a great fluidity in movement, musicality, and often creates an enduring quality that fosters enjoyment of movement.
Thank you for that introduction. And now we're going to tackle about the dance and human body under the dance overture. Our body can perform such action as rotating, bending, jumping, stretching, and turning. By modifying this physical action and using of different dynamics, human being can construct many types of body movement. Range of movement that the body is capable of performing. Every culture emphasizes certain features in its dance style. For example, eyeballs and eyebrows are involved in classical dances in India, in which it adds gesture and posture to the performer. Next example is hip movements are very important in the Oteya dance style of Tahiti Hole in the Upper Rima. Its gestures are much alike to the Hawaiian Hula. Next is hops, skips, and jumps are the dances of Balkan region and in Eastern Europe. The last example is the arm, hand, and finger movements are significant in many traditional dances in Southeast Asia. Alright, so let's proceed to the next topic, which is the dance and the human mind. Did you know that through dancing, it can also have a psychological effect? And I have here some reason why. First, emotions and ideas are expressed and communicated, in which you understand the message and you can feel the emotions through dancing or by just watching. Second is sharing rhythms and movements can make a group feel unified. Communicating with your group can make a special connection and it will have a better outcome. Third is, in many societies, dancing can lead to trance and other states of consciousness. And such states can be interpreted as signaling spirit possession, or it is a way to release your emotion. The fourth one is a feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment on the part of the performer. It's just like you will feel satisfied that you do your best, that you showcase your talent in front of many people in different stages. Last is number 5, the modern field of dance therapy and adaptive dance, in which in dance therapy it helps people to express themselves and can relate to others, while the adaptive dance, it refers to the needs of clumsy or disabled person to express themselves aesthetically. Yes, that were some reason why dancing can also have a psychological effect. And now let's proceed to the next topic, which is the dance and human nature. Human beings and almost all animals express themselves through movement. Therefore, dance is the transformation of ordinary, functional, and expressive movement into extraordinary movement. When we say extraordinary, it means that even just a simple movement performed in dance can be done through in a pattern way, in circles, or in special rhythm, wherein it occurs in special contexts. The origin of dance begins long before with the origins of man and human societies. Also, animals communicate through rhythmic movement. People with different cultures dance differently and for a variety of purposes. Various form of dance reflects about their way of life to different cultures and nations. To different people and societies, dance can be art, ritual, or recreation. Also, it has a functional purposes of the movement used in work or in athletics. Different cultures may serve for the purpose of dance by, first, expressing emotions, moods, or ideas. Second, it tells a story. Third is, it serves religious, political, economic, or social needs. Last is, it can be an experience that gives satisfaction, excitement, or aesthetic value towards the performers and the audiences. We're now on the last part of my topic, which is the reason why people dance. First is, we feel the joy, happiness, and enjoyment. Next is, dance is a profession. Third one is, it is also a ritual, praise and worship God. And the last is socialization. So thank you guys for listening, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Camille Malubay. I will be discussing to you about dance occupation. What is dance occupation? According to Dr. Larry Gabao, characteristically a hard-working of group people, the Filipinos exhibit work and occupation even in their talents. Dance occupation is also a lifestyle and the daily work of a people living in various topographies. There are 5 different careers connected with dance. First is the dancer, the dance teacher, dance sport coach, dance therapist, and the last one is the choreographer. What is dancer? The word dancer, they are the people who dance in front of the audience, especially if there are programs that the people will enjoy it. They can, depending on the dance form, they usually employed on the contract or particular performances or a production. As a dancer, it gives a great help to our whole body, especially to our heart and lungs. We are now in the second types of a different careers connected with dancing, which is the dance teacher. What is dance teacher? Dance teacher or a dance instructor, they are the people who teach and train the student in dance on how to create a different elements of techniques, performance, and choreography in their educational approach. Dance teacher is also a operator of dance school relay on reputation, and marketing. Dance teacher, they can form without an associating structure such as salsa or tango. Most teachers are self-employed. By the way, salsa is a category of a stylized Cuban rhythmic dynamic with the elements of the rock and soul music, while a tango is a ballroom dance of a Latin American origin. The third one is the dance sport coaches. What is dance sport coach? From the word coach, which is coaches, they are the leader of a team who creating a choreography, to demonstrating a dance method, explaining the proper hit and safety techniques. Like for example, we will have a event like a festival. We need to have a coach to guide and to teach us on how do we achieve the winning of that event. Dance sport coach is also a coaches or tournament dancers or performer dance sport people, and maybe it recognized by a dance sport federation. We are now in fourth type. What is dance therapist? How does dance therapist do? Dance therapist a movement to promote emotional, social, cognitive, and physical integration of the individual for the purpose of improving health and their well-being. Also, to focus on helping their clients or people to improve their self-esteem and body image. Also to develop the effective communication skills and the relationship as well. By the way, those are the pictures that are example of dance therapies. The last one is the choreographer. Choreographer, it is a generally trained and a typical employed for a particular project, or more rarely may work on contract as the resident of choreographer for a specific dance company. Choreographer, those are the person who creates dance composition and plans and to arrange dance movement. And also those are the people who pattern for dance.
Hi, good evening. My name is Roland Joey Pilaparca. At this moment, I'm going to discuss about significance of dance education. So, dancing is a part of the dynamic cultural expression of all societies, and every individual has the potential or ability to dance. The inclusion of dancing in the physical education program of school is simply to develop such potential into actual skills and to expose everyone, especially the youth, to the many benefits of learning dance. First significance is dancing promotes personality development since people involved in dance improve their grace and rhythm, posture and biomechanics, discipline, dedication, motivation and determination, self-esteem and self-confidence, self-actualization, values of cooperation, resourcefulness, obedience and respect. So, grace and rhythm. How one person improves his or her grace and rhythm when he dance or when she dance. Um, it improves your grace and rhythm because when we dance, no, we listen to the music first, then we create movement, no, which is timing siya sa music nga atong ginagamit para sa dance. So, ang rhythm sa music o ang rhythm sa atong body, ang flow, ang pag-act na to, perform na to sa moves kay kanang timing siya sa music. So mao nang gina-practice nato ang lawas atong body nga masabay jud siya sa music kay di man ta pwede mo create og kanang movement ng or dance step nga kanang dili siya kanang it's not fit on the music nga to gamit. Next is posture and biomechanics. So in dancing we can improve our posture and biomechanics. So ano man when we dance man good kanang atong posture, so kay ma-improve ang atong posture because kung mo dance ta kailangan jud nato kanang proper nga posture, no, para kanang we can move in a easy way kanang dili nato mabuhat ang next step nga atong buhaton. Then biomechanics pod, what is biomechanics? It focuses on how forces act on the musculoskeletal system and how the body tissue respond to these forces. So, pag natin proper posture po, kanang makahatag budag ka ng timing ba, kanang kung unsa ta mo hatag og force o kusog sa atong i-create na kuan kanang movement. So, buutag kanang forces nga kanang di ta ma-injury kanang basta natay proper posture. So mo nang sa dance ma-improve jud ni siya kay para maka-create tag kanang nindot na performance kailangan tag proper posture o kanang timing nga paggamit sa ato ang force para mag-create og movement, no? Ma-improve siya. Then next is discipline. Discipline yourself by practicing every moment to have a good performance. So kailangan jud nimo ma-improve jud yung disiplina sa imong sarili. So unsa man yung pagdisiplina imong sarili, how to discipline yourself in dancing. Dili mo kaya night times na kanang dili dayon mo makuha ang kanang step, di mo dayon masabay sa kanang music nga imong gigamit sa imo para sa dance. So disiplinaon nimo sarili nga kanang discipline yourself to have a practice. Every day mag-practice ka kanang makatag kag time, disiplinaon jud mo sarili nga ingana dapat ingani kung tama imong buhaton para kanang sa imong performance nindot siya tanawon sa audience. Then next is dedication, motivation, and determination. So kaning tulo kailangan jud ni siya kay in dancing man good, in dance education, no, pag mag-learn tag dance kailangan tag kanang kuan kanang natay ang atong goal ba kanang we need to have a goal kanang buhaton nato ni. So for example atong goal kay kanang kuan, goal nato is kanang ma-express nato ang ato ang feelings sa kanang sa audience, no, mag-perform ta kanang nindot na performance. So dedicated ta nga kanang hatagan jud nato siya time to have a practice, no, sa isa ka adlaw nga nang mohatag tag 2 to 3 hours para mag-practice, no. Then so motivation, dapat motivated ta nga kanang ma-achieve na to ang atong goal, no, makahatag tag nindot na performance sa atong audience. And then determination, determinated nato determination na kanang to perform that performance, to perform that dance para sa atong audience, no, para sa ato ang goal nga kanang express na to atong feelings unsay atong real na emotion ba, no, sa nga gusto nato ipakita sa uban. Then next is self-esteem and self-confidence. We can improve this through dance education because it is always need to have a self-esteem and so ma-improve jud nato siya kay di man kailangan na wala tay self-confidence o na kailangan jud siya self-confidence even though bisag gamay lang siya na sa sugod kay kandi ulawon pa kay ka hantod na kanang maanad na ka nga mo taas na imong self-confidence, no, kay every performance kailangan dyan siya. Because when we perform without a self-confidence, self-esteem, no, ato ang performance kay affected siya kanang di nimo siya matarong, murag kanang di nimo ma-express og tarong imo ang gustong i-express sa audience. Then next is self-actualization. It is where you are able to find meaning and purpose in your life. So self-actualization. So ma-improve nimo ni siya in dancing because in dancing it's not good na kanang you perform dance without knowing unsay meaning, no. Dili nimo siya ma-perform, no. Di mo matagan og nindot na performance kung wa ka kasabot sa imong gibuhat, wa ka kasabot nga nung sayo kag ingana. So you need to know the meaning, no, og also ang purpose nga nung gibuhat nimo ni siya. And next is values of cooperation, resourcefulness, obedience, and respect. So in dancing you can improve this because it is always in dancing, especially when you are have a team or kagrupo nimo, you need to be cooperate because everyone of you kailangan namoy iisa nga goal, no, namoy goal ka isa inyong goal. So mag-cooperate ka, you need to cooperate to achieve that goal. And then resourcefulness, you need to think if there is a possible problem, you need to think how to solve this. You need to be creative. And then obedience, you obey your ka-team nimo, yung mga kauban, then your leader, and respect them para ma-achieve ninyo ang para isa inyong goal ug ma-achieve ninyo ni sabay. Then next significance is dancing improves emotional, mental, social, and physical well-being. It improves your emotional because it by showing your emotion, express that what you have felt and fight depression. So maka-avoid siya depression, no, kay syempre ma-express nimo ang feeling through dancing. Di nimo ma-express through verbal, but you can show it, you can express it through action. And then it improves your social, you can communicate with your group mates, mga kauban, no, daghang kag maunsa na maatubang different people sa imong life. Then physical well-being, syempre mag-dance ka, help your body to make healthier, no, exercise imong lawas, remove yung mga fats imong lawas. Then next is dancing provides a happy, fulfilled, and satisfying life. Siyempre, if pagawas nimo imong feelings, no, happy jud ka kanang dili kay good sa imong heart, no, fulfilled and satisfying life. Daghang kag makailan ng mga tao when you are dancing. Daghang imong friends, happy siya. Next is dancing improves reflexes and awareness of one's own body and the immediate environment. So, when you are dancing, you need to you need to be aware to your environment when you are moving. Dapat aware ka sa imong ginabuhat na movement. Dapat mo create kag movement na kanang dapat fit sa kanang music na imong gigamit, no, na mapuy gi-expect sa imong audience, no. Next is dancing educates oneself and audience during the performance of dance, no. Ma-educate sila during the performance because of the message, no, big message of your message sa dance na imong gibuhat, no, sa music pod, no, ma-educate sila through ana. Then ikaw sad nga nag-perform, ma-educate pud ka, especially when they have a feedback, no? If ilang feedback ka nang dili sila ganahan, ma-educate ka na through ingana. Maingon mo sa imong sa self na kanang I can do more, mag-practice pa ko, I can practice more to ma-achieve na ko ang better nga performance. So mo na ma-educate ang imong sarili o ang audience. Then that's all. The next supporter.
Hi kids! Let's shake our body! We are healthy soon!
Creative rhythms are sometimes called fundamental rhythms or natural dances. A creative rhythm is an end product of exploration and improvisation of movements, as children learn to move the parts of their body and to use them as instruments of expression.
Okay. Come on. Okay. Let's go. The wheels of the bus go round and round. Round and round. Round and round. The wheels of the bus go round and round. All through the town. The doors on the bus go open and shut. Open and shut. Open and shut. The doors on the bus go open and shut. All through the town.
And the second one is the folk and ethnic dance.
Folk and ethnic dance. It is cultural art form handed down from generation to generation. It communicates the customs, beliefs, rituals, and occupation of the people of a region or country. Folk dancing belongs to the people. Ethnic tribes have their own specific tribal art forms, originated and danced by the people of the tribe. Examples of the ethnic dance are the dances of the mountain people, located in the Bukidnon province, which is the Matigsalog tribe.
And the third one is the social and ballroom dance.
Social and ballroom dance. The setting of the social and ballroom dance is a social gathering with a more formal atmosphere than the simple and informal parties in which the recreational dances are the usual forms.
The basic position of social and ballroom dance.
Recreational dance includes dance mixers, square dance round, and couple dances. Many of these dances have simple pattern and combination of walking steps, polka step, and the waltz step. The setting is usually informal gatherings and parties or reunions. Creative dance. It is the highest form of dance. It is the end product of exploration and improvisation of movement, as the dancer or the choreographer expresses his feelings or emotions ideas, and interpretations. This is a dance with definite form, a beginning and an ending. The principles of art form are all observed in the composition of dance.
Ang ganda ng buhay, mahal kong Diyos. Sana papuri sa'yo'y tunay na malubos. Nais kong mabuhay sa mundong kay ganda na dinahal